Success isn't a matter of chance, it's not luck, it's not being born into privilege. Success is a result of consistent habits built on a winning mindset. Some people seem to attract success effortlessly, but it's not because they are lucky, it's because they have developed the right routines, the right thoughts, and the right behaviors that align with their goals. Every successful person follows a pattern. They prioritize growth, they take disciplined action, and they stay committed even when it's hard, even when nobody's watching. Now, on the other hand, those who struggle, they fall into the habits of procrastination, self-doubt, inconsistency. And let me tell you, the difference is not intelligence, it's not talent. The difference is the small daily choices that compound over time. So if you want to attract success, you must start by shifting your mindset. You must focus on productive habits, surround yourself with positive influences, and take intentional steps forward every single day. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you become. And when your habits align with your vision, success doesn't need to be hunted down, it comes to you. These are the rules. This is the formula. This is how you become the person who attracts success. 1. Who you become shapes your destiny. Every single day, you are shaping the person you are becoming. Your habits, your choices, your thoughts, they are the paintbrushes, and your life is the canvas. So ask yourself, are you creating a masterpiece, or are you letting life paint a picture you don't recognize? Success is not simply a collection of external achievements. It is a direct reflection of who you are at your core. The way you think, the way you act, the way you carry yourself. All of these determine what you attract in life. The world doesn't respond to what you want. The world responds to your energy. And if you want to attract greatness, you must cultivate greatness within yourself. It begins with your mindset. It begins with your discipline. It begins with your actions. Every decision you make, no matter how small, contributes to the foundation of your future self. Think about the people who naturally command respect. Have you ever met someone who exudes confidence, determination, purpose? They don't need to speak loudly. They don't chase attention. Their presence is enough to influence everyone around them. This is not luck. This is not chance. This is the result of years of internal work, the conscious decision to pursue growth, to refuse mediocrity, to build an identity rooted in strength and ambition. They have crafted themselves into individuals worthy of success, and in turn, success gravitates towards them. Edwin C. Barnes had a burning desire to work with the great inventor Thomas Edison. He wasn't wealthy, he had no influential connections, he lacked experience, but he saw himself as Edison's partner long before the world saw it. Unlike most people who wait for the perfect opportunity, Barnes created his opportunity. By taking action, he didn't even have enough money for a train ticket, so he hopped on a freight train to New Jersey. He arrived with nothing but belief in himself. When he met Edison, he didn't ask for a job. He boldly stated his intention. I have come not to be your employee, but to be your business partner. Now think about that. And that moment, Barnes was a nobody, but he thought, spoke, and acted like a partner. Edison saw his determination and gave him a small, insignificant job. Most people would have quit, but Barnes didn't. He showed up, he delivered, he proved his value day after day. Then one day, Edison invented a new device, the Edison dictating machine. He needed someone to sell it. Barnes seized the moment. With unshakable confidence, he became the exclusive distributor of the machine. That single opportunity made him a wealthy man, and eventually Edison's trusted business partner, exactly as Barnes had envisioned from the very start. He didn't wait, he didn't wish, he became the person before the world caught up. That is how you attract success. Henry Ford, before becoming one of the most successful industrialists in history, faced multiple failures. He built 2 automobile companies, both of which collapsed. But he didn't stop. He didn't quit. He learned. He adapted. He kept going. In 1903, he finally founded the Ford Motor Company. At a time when cars were considered a luxury only for the rich, Ford had a bold vision. I will build a car for the multitude, an automobile that was affordable for the common man. His belief in mass production, in efficiency, in innovation, it revolutionized the entire automobile industry. Even during the Great Depression of the 1930s, when giants collapsed, Ford's principles held strong. His mindset was simple. A man's success is not determined by his failures, but by his belief in himself. So ask yourself, who do you need to become to achieve the success you desire? The answer isn't in pretending, it's not in faking it. It lies in aligning your identity with your vision. If you aspire to be wealthy, you must adopt the mindset of someone who builds wealth. If you wish to be influential, you must learn to communicate and behave like a leader. Success is not some distant dream, it is the natural consequence of becoming the person who is capable of attaining it. There's no reason why some people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly, while others struggle endlessly. It all boils down to identity. Your identity dictates your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. When you shift your identity to match the life you want, you begin to operate from a place of certainty, not hope. You stop overthinking, you start executing, you move with purpose, and the world takes notice. Too often, people chase success only to end up exhausted and unfulfilled. That's because success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract. The moment you become the type of person who embodies success, it begins to follow you naturally. It's not about chasing wealth, power, or recognition. It's about becoming the kind of person who deserves those things. Your life is your masterpiece, and every day you hold the brush. So ask yourself, will I create something extraordinary today, or will I let life dictate the strokes? The choice is yours. Start shaping your identity today, and success will follow you in ways you never imagined. Success is not an accident, it is intentional, it is planned, it is built brick by brick through clear goals and purposeful action. Most people live life reacting to circumstances. They drift, they hope that success will somehow find them. But here's the truth, if you don't define what you want, the world will define it for you, and often it won't be in your favor. Life doesn't hand out success at random, it rewards those who take charge of their destiny. Every successful person sets clear intentional goals, not vague wishes, but specific, actionable, and deeply meaningful targets. When your goals align with your values and your purpose, they become a magnetic force that pulls you forward even on days when motivation is low. Let's break it down. Saying, I want to be successful means nothing. What does success actually look like for you? Is it financial freedom? Is it mastering a skill? Is it leading a movement? Define it, clarify it, because clarity creates power. Here's the key. Reverse engineer your success. If your goal is to build a business, ask yourself, what must I accomplish in 1 year, in 6 months, in the next 30 days? Make your goals measurable, trackable, and time-bound. Success loves structure. Without milestones, even the best intentions fade into inaction. But goal setting alone is not enough. Execution is everything. Your goals should scare you a little, but excite you a lot. They should stretch you beyond your comfort zone, because growth never happens in comfort. And remember, goals without action are just dreams. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is execution. Life will test you, that's a given. But here's the truth. Your success is not determined by how many times you fall. It's determined by how many times you get back up. Resilience, that's the separator. That's the edge. It's what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's the ability to keep moving forward despite failures, despite disappointments, despite setbacks. The road to success is paved with obstacles, but those obstacles, they are not there to stop you. They are there to make you stronger. You must reframe failure. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every setback carries a lesson. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every time you get knocked down, you have a choice. Stay down or rise up stronger. Think of Abraham Lincoln. He lost multiple elections, faced devastating personal tragedy, and yet he became one of the greatest US presidents in history. Not because he avoided failure, but because he used it as fuel. So how do you build resilience? You train your mind to see struggles as stepping stones, not roadblocks. When life gets tough, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? The sooner you embrace the lesson, the faster you move forward. Resilient people don't dwell on failures. They analyze, they adapt, they act, they control their response instead of letting external events control them. Growth never happens in comfort. The moment you challenge yourself, push past your limits, step into the unknown, you build an unshakable foundation. Your ability to bounce back is your superpower. Develop it and you become unstoppable. Resilient people are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never stop trying. They understand failure is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. So when life knocks you down, stand up, dust yourself off, keep moving forward, because every step you take after failure is a step closer to success. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation of all great achievements. It's the silent force behind every dream made real. It drives people to defy the odds, to raise above circumstances, to claim the life they deserve. The greatest limitations in life, they are not external, they are internal. Doubt, fear, negative self-talk. These are the real enemies of success. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. But the moment you do, you become a force the world cannot ignore. Think of a time you hesitated when you second guessed your potential. Was that doubt based on reality or fear? The truth is, most self-doubt is a lie. It's a conditioned response from past failures, from criticism, from fear of the unknown. But here's the good news. Belief is a choice. You build belief the same way you build muscle, through repetition. Every time you take action despite fear, every time you prove to yourself that you can, you strengthen that belief. Start with small wins. Set a goal, achieve it. Remember your capability. History is full of proof. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Henry Ford was ridiculed for his vision. The Wright brothers were mocked for trying to fly. They succeeded because they believed long before the world did. Confidence isn't given, it's built, and when you finally believe in yourself fully, the world begins to mirror that belief. Doors open, opportunities rise, people follow. But self-belief isn't arrogance, it's not blind optimism. It's about recognizing your worth, developing your skills, taking decisive action. Even if you fail, belief allows you to rise again, stronger and wiser. Because the difference between those who achieve and those who settle is not talent, it's not luck, it's the courage to believe in oneself despite the odds. Choose to believe in yourself today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Because the sooner you do, the sooner success will follow. If success had a secret weapon, it would be one word: discipline. Not talent, not luck, not even intelligence, just discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what must be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's the separator. That's the game changer. That's what divides those who dream from those who deliver. Most people wait for motivation. They say things like, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll act when I'm inspired. I'll move when I get that spark. But here's the truth. Readiness is a myth. Motivation is a mood, and moods are temporary. You cannot build a legacy on temporary emotions. Winners don't rely on moods, they rely on systems, on structure, on habits, on discipline. Some days you'll feel amazing, some days you'll feel tired, unsure, frustrated. Discipline says, I don't care how you feel, we move. That's power. That's what builds results that compound over time. Look at the greats. Athletes train in the cold when cameras are off. Entrepreneurs build through failures and doubt. Writers write even when the words don't flow. Champions show up when no one else will. They don't feel like it, they do it anyways. That's discipline. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through resistance. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. Start small, win your mornings, show up on time, stick to your commitments, especially when it's inconvenient. Each act of discipline is a vote for your future self. Each small win builds inner power. Without discipline, the best ideas die. The clearest visions fade. The most passionate dreams rot in procrastination. But with discipline, you can start with nothing and still build everything. Because in the end, success does not belong to the most talented, it belongs to those who show up, who execute consistently, who refuse to negotiate with their excuses, who outlast the noise and outwork the doubt. Discipline is not punishment, it's self respect. It's the highest form of self love. It's saying, I believe in my future so much, I will act on it even when it's hard. If motivation is the spark, discipline is the engine. Build that engine and you'll go further than you ever imagined. The world is changing fast. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. So the question is not how smart are you? The question is, are you growing? The most successful people don't resist change. They embrace it, they adapt, they learn, and they evolve faster than the world around them. Because here's the truth, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Reading a book won't change your life, but using what you learn will. Growth is not passive, it's active. It requires effort, courage, curiosity, and the humility to say, I don't know this yet, but I'm willing to learn. Learning isn't just about reading books or taking notes, it's about transformation. It's not how much you know, it's how much you apply. It's not how many books you finish, it's how many lessons you live. Your mind is like a blade. If you don't sharpen it regularly, it goes dull. So sharpen it every day, relentlessly. Ask yourself, what new skill are you building this month? What mindset shift are you making today? What lesson have you implemented, not just understood? Because consuming without action is just entertainment. In a world that never stops evolving, if you're not learning, you're falling behind. Because today's mastery will become tomorrow's minimum. Want to stay relevant? Stay hungry. Want to lead the pack? Keep leveling up. Want to build lasting success? Commit to learning more so you can be more and do more and serve more. Adaptability is your edge. Curiosity is your secret weapon. And lifelong learning, that's your unlimited fuel. Choose to grow every single day because those who learn and act will always lead. Your environment is not neutral. It's either shaping you or shrinking you. It's either pulling you forward or dragging you down. You may not even realize it, but every room you walk into, every conversation you entertain, every person you allow close is either fueling your success or feeding your stagnation. If you surround yourself with complainers, doubters, and small thinkers, don't be surprised when your goals start shrinking too. But if you choose to be around doers, dreamers, and believers, you rise, you stretch, you evolve. Let's make this clear. Environment is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You can't build a 10x life in a 1x room. Want to get fit? Surround yourself with people who move. Want to grow your income? Hang out with wealth builders. Want to stay consistent? Spend time with those who value discipline because proximity is power and exposure changes identity. You become what you're exposed to repeatedly. So take inventory. Who are you listening every day? Who are you taking advice from? Are they where you want to be? If not, it's time to level up your circle. They are saying you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. Look at their health. Look at their income. Look at their mindset. Look at their drive. Now ask yourself, is this the direction I want to grow in? If yes, stay. If not, upgrade your environment. And listen, if you outgrow your current circle, don't shrink to fit in. Find a new room. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable. Yes, it might trigger old fears. But that's how growth begins. Because every next level of your life will demand a next level environment. So protect your space, curate your circle, be intentional with who you allow in. Your energy is sacred, your vision is sacred, and your environment will either reinforce it or ruin it. Choose wisely. There are only 2 ways to see the world. 1, through the eyes of scarcity. 2, through the lens of abundance. Scarcity says, there is not enough. If they win, I lose. I must hold on, protect, defend. Abundance says, there is more than enough. If they can, I can. Let me create, expand, and give. Scarcity hoards, it fears loss, it avoids risk, it shrinks. Abundance gives, it trusts, it takes bold moves, it expands. Scarcity is rooted in fear, abundance is anchored in faith. Scarcity sees competition, abundance sees collaboration. Scarcity believes life is a pie, and if someone else gets a slice, there's a less left for you. Abundance believes I can always bake another pie. Look closely. The wealthiest, happiest, and most fulfilled people on the planet, they operate from abundance. Not because they always had more, but because they trained their minds to see more. Want more in life? Then stop asking, what if I lose? Start asking, what more can I give? What more can I create? How can I serve without fear? Abundance isn't about what's in your bank account. It's about what's in your mind. It's a decision to believe that life isn't limited, that opportunity isn't scarce, that success isn't reserved for a few. Because the more you live in abundance, the more abundance you attract. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe. So choose belief, choose generosity, choose growth. Even in tough times, abundance whispers, there's still something here to build from. Even when doors close, abundance reminds you there's another one, better, just ahead. It's not about denying reality, it's about choosing your response to it. Scarcity reacts in fear, abundance responds with power. So, train yourself to look for possibility, to celebrate others, to create value, to give more than you take, because abundance is the mindset that multiplies everything. People often ask, how do I stay motivated? How do I stay consistent? How do I avoid burnout? Here's the answer: purpose. When you are driven by purpose, you don't chase motivation. You don't need inspiration. You are pulled by something bigger than you. Purpose is not found. Purpose is chosen. It's not discovered by waiting. It's built by doing. You take action. You follow your curiosity. You lean into what makes you feel alive. And slowly, your purpose begins to reveal itself. Now, add passion to that. That's where the magic happens. Passion is the energy. Purpose is the direction. When you align both, you unlock unstoppable momentum. Let me be clear. You don't burn out from working too hard. You burn out from living without meaning. If you hate Mondays, if you're constantly exhausted, if you're dragging yourself through the week, it's not your calendar, it's your compass that's broken. Find what lights you up. What would you do even if no one paid you? What could you talk about for hours and still feel energized? That's a clue. That's your soul nudging you. Follow it. Whether it's teaching, building, leading, healing, designing, creating, whatever makes your inner voice say yes, that's your signal. And when you live from that space, work becomes worship, effort becomes effortless, time disappears, doubt fades, and success becomes inevitable. But don't wait for clarity to begin. Clarity comes through action. Purpose comes through pursuit. So start messy, start now. Because when you find your purpose, you become unstoppable, you become magnetic, you become alive, and the world makes room for people on fire with passion and purpose. You have visualized, you have learned, you have believed, you have imagined a life beyond your current reality. But none of that matters unless you take action. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the spark that turns intentions into results. It is the missing link between knowing and becoming. You can read all the books, listen to every podcast, attend every seminar, but without action, you are just collecting information. You don't need more content, you need more commitment. Most people stay stuck not because they are lazy, but because they wait for the perfect moment. When I have more time, when I feel ready, when everything is aligned, but that moment never comes. Winners move before they feel ready. They act their way into confidence. They fail forward. They figure it out as they go. Action is not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about saying, even if I stumble, I move. Even if I doubt, I act. Even if I fall, I rise again. Every small step compounds, every tiny win adds up. Every time you show up when no one's watching, you're building the future you once only dreamed of. So stop overthinking, stop delaying, stop negotiating with your greatness. Decide, commit, move, because clarity comes from motion and results come from repetition. You want transformation? It's not in the next book. It's in the next move you make. Your dreams are waiting, your future is calling, your best self is already cheering you on. But none of them can help you until you help yourself by taking bold, uncomfortable, decisive action. So here's the question: what's one action you can take today that your future self will thank you for? Do that, repeat that, become that, because action is the final word, and massive action is how legends are made of. Thank you so much.